Coverage by Brown on the outside against the best tight end in football. I mean, this is a great throw and a great catch. I don't know how you can coach any different.
That's just big boy football, all right? You got Moss. That's what you want to see right there.
Welcome to the Put On Waivers Media Group, home of the Put On Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Put On Raiders podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with Ryan Holmes, and we are podcasting at the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. At least one of us are, so I gotta change it up somehow. We're talking about the Raiders here. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, and Ryan's is RHOM22. The Raiders finished their second preseason game. This is probably the game where the most you're gonna see. I mean, the last one you won't see anybody now until the 7th when they play the Patriots in New England. We're here to kind of wrap that up and kind of recap everything and tell you guys what we saw. Ryan, how you doing today?
Doing good. I'm no longer on the beautiful shores. I'm now in the humid Midwest. So.
Yeah, it's going to be it's hot over there. It's hot over there. So the Raiders. It was good to see that. We'll talk about the good first. The first team offense. You can see that there's a lot of potential there for them to give teams issues. I like the goal line catch by Mayer, the Moss ball by Bowers. Genty gave you some little Earl Campbell stuff there as well, running people over. That got people excited. There's a lot of different aspects. Even I think they were driving and they had a third and short inside the 20, and they got the ball to Tucker on a little end route or something like that. So, but you can see that this offense does have potential to be a team that could score and move the football.
No, definitely. The first team offense is going to put up points. We've talked about that all offseason, our concerns on the other side of the ball. But it was good to see the offensive line open up some holes for Genty. I would like to see him make a few more guys miss. I know running over people's fun, but that's how you end up on IR and get hurt. He tried to run over a guy in the flat and took a shot to the shoulder. But it was good to see him get yards after contact, break that one tackle, get your ball in the backfield. You see Bowers kind of on that wheel route. He's lined up in line, and they got him down the field, matched up one-on-one. The throw by Geno Smith to Mayer at the goal line was probably my favorite throw that he made. There was two defenders there. He threw it down and away to where only Mayer could get it, kept it away from the defenders, and Mayer came up with the catch at the 1 yard line. And then capitalizing on the turnover, I think, was huge. Watching a Raiders team get a turnover and then score a touchdown. That's something we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, and nice play by Chin there, laying out and catching the football there. But yeah, I mean, and for the red zone woes of that people talk about with Geno Smith, they won't be solved until we watch the regular season. But it won't be for not. I mean, like the design looks like it's going to be there. It looks like he's going to have weapons to get the ball to. I mean, and there are a lot of short-handed weapons on this team. Like there's not a lot of guys who drop a lot of passes on the Raiders who are in this offense. I mean, Mayer has good hands. Myers has great hands. Bowers, all those guys like that. So they should be able to move the football up and down the field. It just depends on whether or not they're able to turn a lot of those in. I mean, you want to see Carlson on extra points. You don't want to see Carlson on field goals. So, but they should be able to score points. I mean, this should be an offense it should be one of the better offenses in all the NFL. No matter how you feel about Geno Smith, he does have really good arm talent.
It was good to see him take shots down the field. I know he missed those throws to Thornton, but they're going to have to do that to back defenses up. If defenses can't bring an eighth guy down, Genty should have plenty of running lanes. And then, if Bowers can get open in the middle of the field, which we know he can, but if they can work him more vertically this year, if Geno takes shots,
Yeah.
this team can be explosive. They don't have to rely on 12, 13, 14 play drives. 4 or 5 play touchdown drives is going to be something that we're going to see this year. The hands wise, we're still unknown about Thornton. We'll see. And then Tucker, it looks like it's improving. We'll see. But like you said, they do have some sure guys in the middle of the field. They should be able to catch a ton of balls over the middle of the field, design it up, get linebackers on those guys, whether it's Myers, Mayer, or even Bowers. And then I want to see the screen game. I think they're going to be a pretty heavy screen team too. We'll see Ashton Tinty in the open field once they start throwing some screens. We haven't seen really any of that in the preseason.
And also, I mean, you mentioned the big plays. The big plays are going to be incredibly important because you don't want to, you want to be able to get in scoring position as quickly as possible. When you're running those, 13, 14 play drives, you're just prone to get a penalty at one of those and get backed up. And then next thing you know, you got to kick a field goal instead. So, we talked about Geno and the first offense. There has to be, again, while they improve their starter, any starter in the National Football League is one play away from having a guy like Aiden O'Connell take the field. Just really concerned about his holding on to the football, lack of mobility, and lack of being able to get rid of the ball quickly. We had thoughts about his performance because his performance in the preseason has been very, very up and down. If you just to be kind.
It hasn't been great. He's going into year 3. It's a new offense. There is a learning curve, obviously, but he's played in many offenses throughout his college and professional career. He's coming up on 26, 27 years old. If he hasn't shown progress, that's the disappointing thing. We're in year 3. He should be better, but that was my concern all along. Is when you draft the 25-year-old guy, he's already reached his ceiling.
Yeah.
I like Cam Miller as a backup. And I tweeted this yesterday. There's a little bit of Jeff Garcia. I'm not saying he's Jeff Garcia, but just a little bit in kind of how he plays the position. But are you ready to take this offense, if anything happens to Geno, and hand it over to a rookie 6th-round pick? I don't think so. I still think O'Connell makes this team. He doesn't have trade value. You're not going to go out there and move him, but he's been around. He's seen defenses. He can move the ball underneath. Whereas I think Chip wants to be explosive down the field. That doesn't suit Aiden O'Connell at all. So when you saw Aiden O'Connell come in, it was underneath, check down, flat route. Like you didn't see him really push the ball down the field. But the Raiders don't have any other options. They need Geno Smith to stay healthy. They need to protect him. The first-string offensive line looked really good. And pass protection, same reports we heard from the joint practices with the 49ers that they held up well. Now, granted, the 49ers didn't have Bosa or their first-round pick, Williams from Georgia, in that. But if they can give Geno time, like you said, they should score points. They're going to run the ball a lot. It was refreshing to see 3rd and 5 when they had a double A gap look from the defense to just run it and get 7-8 yards and get a first down. So this is a Pete Carroll team. They are going to run the ball. There's going to be times where we're going to get frustrated. Like, why are they running on 2nd and 8? Why are they running on this and that? So they need to play action early, throw it down the field, back defenses up. And I think Jack Batch had a pretty good game. And you're going to see him sprinkled in. I'm really curious to see what the rotations are going to be. When they go 12 personnel, who's the second guy in the field? Is it a rotation of Tucker and Thornton? Is it one or the other? When they go 11, did they just put Myers in the slot and then you have Thornton and Tucker outside? Like, where does Jack Batch fit in this offense if you're running 12 personnel? Because they took him in the 2nd round. Yeah. They need to get him on the field at some point and get him targets. But I don't know if there's enough targets in this offense to go around when they're going to just turn around and give the ball to number 2 a lot.
Yeah. Do you feel like, obviously cuts are coming up here soon, and then there are some teams that do have, like the Giants, for instance, they do have Wilson, they have Winston, and they also have Jackson Dart. Would the Raiders should I know Winston could be maybe a guy who maybe the Raiders kind of go out there and try to just kick the tires and see what it would cost to get somebody like that. I'm just trying to throw it out there only because I just don't. Cam Miller's probably not ready to go face the Ravens. Like that, things like that, and you just don't want to put Aiden on the field if anything happened to Geno. Like if they got to a fast start and Geno is out for 3 games, you want to at least be competitive in those games behind center. I know, but I know somebody like Jameis is not like really, I mean, he's sporadic as well, but I just don't. I just the prospect of him being on the field again. I'm just like, and part of it is I'm tired of him being on the team. But I'm just kind of really worried about that part of it. I'm surprised that he is still here, and they didn't bring a more competitive backup situation for him.
I don't think they're going to do anything at the quarterback spot. I think all three guys make the team.
Yeah.
It's fun to look at other teams' depth charts and say, well, their second or third guy is better than our second guy, but teams aren't just going to willingly give up quarterback depth.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to find. When you have it and it's not making any money, it's even better. Unless there's someone that's familiar with Chip Kelly's offense, that has run it, that knows the playbook and has a little bit of experience, it's going to be tough. Like,
Yeah.
the Raiders are going to roll with Aiden O'Connell, I would think, is the backup quarterback at this point. He has started games. He has won games. He doesn't look great doing it all the time, but you just have to adjust the offense for how many ever weeks he's in there. And let's just pray that Geno Smith doesn't get hurt.
Yeah. True. The one little thing about the joint practices, just want to hear your thoughts about what Kittle's remarks about Max Crosby, that audio that I shared with you the other day. I thought it was just interesting that he kind of had a lot to say about how the Raiders use Max Crosby.
Yeah, he talked about the Raiders just lining up in the joint practices, and he was playing six techniques. So he's playing defensive end. He was basically outside there, kind of over the tight end. And the Raiders can't take their best pass rusher and have him be tied up with a tight end, getting off the line of scrimmage, trying to jam him. I don't think they're going to do that when the season starts. Like, they're going to move him around. If you watch the first preseason games, there was a number of examples where Max Crosby was on the weak side over on the left tackle. They've moved him from side to side, which prior regimes haven't done a lot of. But I don't think Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham are sitting there going, let's move our best guy and put him over on the tight end side on obvious passing downs and try to, chip him, get the running back over there, triple team him. The interesting thing for me on the defense is Malcolm Kuntz. If you're watching these preseason games, like, the Raiders are expecting big things out of him, and he's basically been a situational pass rusher. He hasn't been in a lot early, kind of matriculates on the field on third downs. They haven't really used him in the base defense. And I think this last game that they basically ran out there with, I think it was Booker, Butler, and Jonah Lalalu, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and then Crosby were the four down linemen. And then what do they do at linebacker? If you watched it too, like, the linebackers are running in and out on every other play. Like, I thought about this morning. Who's wearing the green dot? Like, it can't be Roberts because he's not going to be on the field on third down.
Yeah.
White might get beat out by Jamal Adams, but then maybe Jamal Adams comes off on passing down. So maybe on in your base defense, you have Jamal Adams at weak, you have Roberts at middle, and then you have Pratt at the strong side linebacker, and then all three come off the field when you go to your nickel. So it can't be any of those five linebackers or four. Maybe it's Chin. Maybe Jeremy Chin is the guy that wears the green dot. Maybe it's Polamalu, but ideally you want a linebacker to do that. I don't know if any of the five linebackers the Raiders are planning on running out there, 4 or 5 on any given set of downs, can wear it. So I'm sure they have a plan there. I just don't know what it is at this point.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I don't know what they do there because, I mean, White, I mean, like, they are mixing and matching those linebackers like crazy. I just don't. I mean, Chin, I mean, but and then the problem with you, if you make it Chin, then it's like, if Chin it gets hurt for any extended period of time, then you're going from a safety wearing it to who's wearing it then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they gotta have like, several backup plans for that if they want to try to get aligned the right way defensively. That's going to be.
And none of these guys have played in this defense before. So other than Roberts, who did in Miami under Patrick Graham, but I would hope it's Jermaine Pratt. I would hope at some point he established himself as, okay, I'm going to be on the field all 3 downs, and then you make it him. But clearly Adams won't, and White probably won't. We know Roberts won't. So, like, who is the guy that's going to wear the green dot and communicate?
So you mentioned Crosby being moved around on the defensive line. If you want to run the football, obviously, if Kuntz is on the field, that's basically the spot you would think teams would take advantage of in that situation, because a lot of times, like a couple times in this game, and we've seen Max Crosby blow up run plays, or especially stretch run plays going his direction. What's the thought process there as far as like, just saying, hey, we're not gonna waste our time running it at Max. Just run it at Malcolm Kutz and see if he can handle it.
We never want to run at Max. So that's the first thing. So whoever it is on the other side, if it's Kuntz, if it's Wilson, if Butler lines up outside, that's where you're running the football.
Yeah.
I would just line up and run it right through the A gaps until the Raiders can hold up in the middle and stop the run. That's where I would go. And then you saw the 49ers get outside, get on the edge. Like the corners on the Raiders roster aren't exactly known as physical, tough tacklers. So I'm running it right up the A gap. I'm running it off the left tackle if Max is lined up on the other side. And then I'm trying to get outside. I'm trying to make those corners tackle.
Yeah, no question about it. The secondary, we talked about it a little briefly before on text and before the show. This is going to be something these corners are just like, I don't know. I really, even if you're a subpar, I'm not even talking about the great passers in the league. I'm talking about just the average passing quarterbacks, or even the rookies like a Drake May, or I think they play Drake May. They also play Caleb Williams this year. The Raiders, just like guys like that, it's going to be difficult for this team to just to be competitive against these guys. I mean, I know the pass rush would be an obvious way of helping stopping it, but there's times where even if you're a great defense, you don't get to the quarterback and the quarterback has time. I don't know how they're competitive with these corners here. I just don't know. And you mentioned something about Porter earlier when we were talking.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Porter day one. I mean, you took him in the third round. He's long, he's explosive, he can make plays on the ball, he has long speed. Just let him develop. Don't mix around. Like Kai Kelly, nice player, came from Stanford. He's been a practice squad guy for a couple of years. Like if he gets in the rotation and you need him for an injury, that's fine. But like, don't stunt the growth of Darian Porter to play Kai Kelly. Eric Stokes is what Eric Stokes is. He hasn't really stood out in preseason play. He's going to end up being cornerback one just based on the rest of the guys on this roster. But I expect heavy zone. Don't let the ball get over the top and then come up and tackle. So they have to be really good tacklers. They can't allow yards after the catch because they're going to give up completions. This is going to look like a Raiders defense from the era that we don't want to talk about Raiders defense from 2005 to 2020. The linebackers, they're going to have to rally and they're going to have to create turnovers. Like for this defense to get off the field, third and long, create turnovers. So you can't have what happened in the preseason game. Again, it's third and four stringers a lot, but you can't give up a 3rd and 18 with the starting defense on the field. You can't give up a 4th and 8. You need to get off the field on those downs because they're going to have to sell out to stop the run, get teams on 3rd and long, and then Max is going to have to come alive. Tyree's going to have to come alive. Adam Butler, Kuntz. I'd like to see more depth. I'm not a Charles Snowden guy. I don't think he gives you much at all as a pass rusher. As a third guy. Especially if you're sliding Wilson inside, then who's the next pass rusher that comes in to give Kuntz a break, or who? Max probably won't come off the field, but if Max goes down, then what do you do? So if I'm the Raiders, I'm looking for another edge rusher. I'm definitely looking for corners. I'd like another safety to more safety depth. Terrell Edmonds is what he is. Like he can come in and be a capable defender. He's not gonna make plays on the ball in the passing game. He'll be okay in run support. He'll blow an assignment here or there. I haven't seen much from Trey Taylor. I was hoping to see a jump from him, but when you watch these preseason games, he's not standing out. Chris Smith, he looks smaller than I remember in the last couple of years. It doesn't look like he doesn't have a ton of foot speed. He's not going to be rangy on the back end. He's not a big physical tackler. That guy is kind of like an extra guy on the roster. Is he a 4th safety? Is 5th safety? So even after adding Edmonds, I think that the Raiders should still be in the market for a safety because if you're going to play Jeremy Chin as your nickelback, when you're a nickel, you need to have another safety on the back end. It can't be Polamalu and Smith. I don't think that's good enough. So we just haven't seen that those Raiders draft picks over the last 2 or 3 years that are still in this roster take that next step that you're hoping them to take. Yep. And we're seeing the lack of depth show up as we get into the 2nd, 3rd, 4th quarter of these games. And just pay attention to who plays in the next game because if they're on the field in the next game, there's a good chance they're probably not going to make this team.
Yeah. And you mentioned the A gap. I guess I'm just going to call him JJP. right now. So we got JBJ and JJ because I'm brutally messing up his last name probably, but it looked like he had some pressures and had some penetration in the game, as well for the Raiders. But I mean, and I know Thomas Booker was on the field a whole lot wearing he's wearing Tyrone Wheatley's number. So if you can't if you
Got to
don't know,
change that.
you gotta change that. 47 is just not it. But so you had that. I just don't know what they do. I mean, you can try to bend don't break stuff. I mean, you can. I mean, I think that's what they're gonna have to try to do. And if they can rally and be able to get and force some turnovers. Those are the unpredictable plays in the game that you would love to see your team make. Hopefully they can do those things, but I just never. This is still. I mean, it's hard to. The Raiders had a lot of holes, so it's hard to fix everything in one off season. I guess when I went into the offseason, I thought that, hey, I looked at how much salary cap room they had. I thought to be able to get something a little bit more on this defense, but to help Max out, but I just don't really see a lot of help for Crosby here. I think Adam Butler is a good it is just a really good professional lineman, but I just don't know what they do. I mean, if Tyree gives them anything and Koontz, that would be something that'd be nice on third down, but getting off the field for this defense is going to be freaking incredibly important. It's incredibly important for a lot of teams, but it's really important for this team to get off the field.
I think going into it, that they had an assumption that Christian Wilkins might be able to contribute this year. Losing Christian Wilkins,
Yeah, it hurts.
due to the non wanting to have a foot surgery, or whatever the story is there,
Yeah,
um, that hurts this team. You're basically
yeah,
taking a Pro Bowl defensive tackle off the roster. Most teams aren't going to be able to fill that position first week of training camp. I think you're just going to have to rotate a bunch of guys in there, and I think Booker will be fine. Keep those guys fresh, and it's just about bringing in the next wave. JJ should be able to provide some pressure and hold up on the inside. We haven't seen Leke Fotu, that the free agent they signed, the big nose plugging nose tackle, number 68. I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Traven Maawe from Baylor. He's kind of flashed in the fourth quarter of these games. I'd like to keep him on the practice squad if they
yeah.
can. Um, he's had a little bit of pass rush. He's made some plays in the run game, but it's going to be a collective unit. You're not going to have one guy stay in there. Those guys are going to rotate like crazy. I think Butler will get a majority of snaps, but you're going to see Tonka Hemingway. You're going to see Pegasus. You're going to see Fotu. You're going to see Lalalo, they have
Yeah.
so many dudes with weird names. I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah,
them
no,
all, but
there's a
you're
lot
going
of
to see
guys.
those guys.
That's why I keep looking over to the. I'm keep looking over to the
Yeah.
depth chart. There's so many different names on this sheet for the Raiders. So you have to keep it. I'm trying to keep track of it. I did. Let me see. There's one guy. I think there's one guy I want to talk about, but I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, defensively, they're going to be a team that definitely needs, to hopefully, tackle, get some turnovers. I don't see how this is going to be a really
It
good defensive team, but
wouldn't surprise me if they're active on cut down day, adding players that other teams will go, because we haven't seen the Raiders really do a lot of that. But this is a new
yeah,
regime. It's Pete
yeah.
Carroll. It's John Spytek. They may go out and add 3 or 4 guys up the waiver wire.
Yeah, I mean, and it's quite possible too, because if you look at I think you look at Pete's first year. I think he had a 1,000,002 transactions that first year in Seattle. So he's gonna do what he can to get his guys in, and it's opportunity where, I mean, they're gonna compete and they're gonna fight and they're gonna be in some of these they're gonna be in a lot of these games. But I mean, I just like I said, I say defensively is gonna be the part where they're gonna really struggle to get things going.
I would add that a lot of Raider fans panic at cutdown day because they don't want this guy to let go because another team's going to claim him. Like traditionally, across the entire
They
National
don't do that
Football
very
League,
often.
there's like 30.
Yeah,
30 guys in the whole league will get picked
yeah.
up by another team. So whether it's McCormick or Labe as the 4th running back, like the other guy's probably going to end up on the practice squad. So like I wouldn't lose a lot of sleep over the final 53, because those guys more than likely are going to end up on the practice squad.
Are you gonna have time to do your famous cut down day?
Yeah, I'll probably do it. When's the last game? Is Saturday, so probably on
Yeah.
Sunday or Monday morning. I'll just tweet out what I think the final 53. It could go a million different ways this year. You have no idea.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Are they keeping
that's true.
4 tight ends? Are they keeping 6 wide receivers? Are they keeping 6 DBs? Are they keeping 5 or 6 linebackers? Like,
Yeah.
how many defensive linemen are they going to keep? What are they going to do with the Australian rugby guy at guard? I think he's a practice squad guy. He's not ready to play day one. Like, can you keep a ninth lineman and be him? Like, he may have to suit up and play.
Yeah.
He's played 2 games of football in his life, so we'll see.
Is there anybody who is who you would say is maybe in trouble as far as making the roster goes? Or you think it's pretty much kind of the 53 is pretty much?
I think you can get to 40 pretty easily. So I don't know if there's a guy, that's maybe Thayer Mumford would be a surprise. A lot of people probably think he'll make it. I think the wide receiver room is fine. Maybe it's Sincere McCormick versus Dylan Labe, like, because there's fans on both sides of that fence. Like, someone's going to be disappointed, someone's going to be excited. I don't think they keep 5. Maybe if they can find a quarterback, which I don't know if they can. If they can, maybe O'Connell doesn't make it. I don't think there's a lot of surprises though. Come cut down day.
Yeah, no, not. I mean, they try to. I know they try to do that a lot on Hard Knocks, but for the most part, these teams, when they go into camp, they pretty much know who's making it, and then it maybe you get one guy, 1 or 2 guys in there.
And maybe a lobby makes it because you see him down on kick coverage making tackles. Like, that's the difference. Special teams. Like, he can be a kick returner, punt returner, third down back, and play special teams. McCormick's out there as well, but you don't see him making plays on special teams.
No. Anything from Grant and Rogers who's in this one that you
I thought Grant played better than he did. Obviously, game 1 he had a holding penalty. We didn't see any replays. Like, NFL Network is too busy doing sideline interviews to show replays during this game. But I think Grant played a little bit better. I still think, like, again, that he's a developmental guy. If something happened to Colton Miller, like, what are you going to do at left tackle? I doubt you're going to run Grant out there in week 3 if you have to. Then you're probably keeping Mumford and moving him over there and just keeping your fingers crossed. So I don't think you want to move Glaze over because you don't want to stunt his development in right tackle. So this team still has, like, who is the swing tackle? Is it Mumford? Is it Grant? It's probably Mumford, just because based on experience. But maybe, Mumford, he got away with 3 or 4 false starts. They finally got him. He's had some holding penalties in the preseason. So we'll see what Pete wants to do. But I think the interior 3 are pretty much set now. It's going to be Merritt at center. It's going to be JPJ and Parham. Does Putnam make this team as a 9th lineman? Because do you really want to? Are you going to move? If those guys are set as your guards, even though they're both centers, like, are you going to move one of them to center and then play another guard, or you just keep those guys there and keep Putnam? So I think Putnam has a chance to make this team. If they're just set on, hey, we're not moving Parham and we're not moving JPJ, they're guards, then Putnam makes this team.
Yeah. I think looking at the roster and looking at the team, I mean, this is just really, they want to see at least, they're going to give all these rookies opportunities to develop. And if you get four, maybe 5 of these guys to end up being, to show growth during the season, I think that's a huge win for Spy Tech and company here coming up with the Raiders, because they need this. I mean, they need these guys to develop. I think on offense you can definitely going to see some guys, but I think defensively, if one of the tackles shows up, starts flashing, and also Porter, like I said, I totally agree. I know people were talking about, like you were talking about it with Kelly. I was, it's just play Porter and just see what happens. I mean, that's kind of nuts as far as that goes.
Well, ideally you wouldn't have to, but they don't have anyone else.
Yeah, they don't.
If they had a competent corner out there, that's one thing, but you can't stunt the growth of Porter to play essentially a guy that's been bouncing off practice squads for a couple of years.
No, you can't. And I haven't heard anything from anybody else in the secondary who's gonna bounce up. And whenever you hear a name, then they play, and then they just realize
Richardson disappeared this week after they were running with the ones for
exactly. It was just purely mid everywhere. As far as this defense goes.
And as far as the rookie class, I think a majority of them make it. How many did they draft? 11 or 12? It was over 10.
They got 1, 2,
I don't think Lindenberg makes it. The 7th-round linebacker out of Minnesota, and Malott is kind of a question mark. He could
10.
probably get into the practice squad. So I think all the rest of them make it.
Yeah.
Cam Miller up. They're all going to make this team.
He was definitely you got Tommy Eichenberg who's from the previous regime wearing Nick Kwiatkowski number. So he played all right. Mason played.
He'll make the team. Special teams.
He'll make the team. He'll make the team. He'll make the team as far as that goes. But yeah, I do think that Lindenberg, but he's the only guy who I could think, and they might keep him too, and just say, hey, we'll keep our whole draft class and get and cut somebody else. I mean, that's what they could do as well. So they mean just who knows. Who knows
I will
as far
say
as that
this,
goes.
number 42, Matt Jones, the undrafted free agent. I know that he got a little bit of talk this week in the media, but like he has been atrocious for 2 weeks. He's missing his run fits. He's been lost in coverage. Like that guy can't make this team. You can't cut Tommy Eichenberg or someone for Matt Jones. And like I said, they're going to have to keep Adams, Pratt, Roberts. They're going to keep 4 or 5 of those guys, and then Eichenberg. So we'll see. I don't think Amari Gainer makes this team. We haven't seen him at all. Like, where is he?
No, I haven't seen him at all.
He's in trouble.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was joking with somebody the other day, man. We were like, I was like, like in these games, these coaches are coaching up these guys, and it's like I give them props, man, because like they know they're cutting this dude, and they're still coaching them up, so they're doing the best they can, as far as that goes. Anything AFC West, NFC West related, or anything around NFL? If you're done with the Raiders, or any last points on the Raiders?
No, I think the Chargers potentially losing the wide receiver last night, Quentin Johnson, to what looked like a concussion, a pretty bad one. Will he be back in time for game 2? It looked pretty bad. They had to cart him off the field because Raiders play the Chargers pretty early there in the schedule. I believe it's week 2 on Monday night. The Broncos, the more you hear about Bo Nix in camp, like they're glowing about Bo Nix over there. So we'll see what happens. That defense is going to be really good. So we'll see if Bo Nix can just not turn the ball over.
Do you see what Micah said? Micah said on his podcast.
I came on here a couple weeks.
We said that
the Broncos are the team. Someone's going to do it.
A team with a rookie quarterback who feels like they're a player away. I mean, they has a lot of money. He can walk into the office and say, hey, we're close, we're right there. Go get him. You know what I mean? Add Micah to our defense, and then the Broncos would be, a good spot for him. Yeah, I mean, it's an obvious fit.
I will say this also about the AFC West. My daughter is a huge Taylor Swift fan, so I sat in the car for 2 hours the other day while we were driving from California back to Texas, and I heard that whole Travis Kelce New Heights podcast. Like, what happened to Travis Kelce? Like, I don't know if he's even likes football anymore. It sounds like he's just, hanging out with Taylor Swift. Props to him. He's set up for life, and he should just propose to her now and try to get some of that money in the long term. But it sounds like you listen to that and you're like, what is going on? Like, does this guy even want to play football anymore? So we'll see what Travis Kelce does this year.
When's the last year of I mean, when's he going to call it quits? I mean, to your point,
soon if you listen to that podcast.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Obviously, so we'll see what happens as far as that goes. But the division is going to be. The Raiders have a fighting chance with the quarterback position they have now, so something they haven't had in a long time. And their offense is going to be something that these teams have to worry about the Raiders' offense. I just worry about obviously, some of all 3 of those teams could just line up and just run the football on the Raiders, even the Chiefs if they wanted to. So that's something that you got to look out for. As far as that goes, so it's going to be a tough haul, but it all starts on the 7th. I mean, you guys start winning. They're not going to be favored in a lot of road games, and this is if you can go to New England and just grab that first one, then
they're not favored in that game.
I don't know. It's only 3 though, right? I think it's only 3 or 2.5. They're not. Yeah. So I mean, that's gonna be a game, but that's another game where if you look at Trayvon Henderson and look at Ramondre Stevens, they're gonna try to and who the offensive coordinator is in New England. They're gonna try to run the football right down the right around the Raiders' throat. So
They need that one though. They have to win that game on their own.
They
It's not a
kind of,
must win, but like if you want to get this thing going in the right direction, then that's a win. You need to win that game.
if you're telling us it's different, you got to find a way to win that game because it's going to be very difficult. Even what the Steel. I mean, not the Steelers. The Chargers play on a Friday, and then they fly back home, and then they have.
Well, they're in Brazil.
They're Brazil, so yeah. So it's not even like they're going to be. They probably didn't want all the Chiefs fans in their stadium. So it was good to see in a preseason game. The last point I was gonna make the good to see all the alumni for the Raiders in there. And some of these dudes look young. And so Marcus Allen does not age. He is just ridiculous, dude. Oh my god, he looks like he's in his 40s. And I always applaud Eric Dickerson because Eric Dickerson is really a Ram. But he's always at the Raiders. He's always at the Raiders thing. I love that about Eric Dickerson.
I know you saw Terry Robisky in one of those shots because he was there too.
Oh, I didn't see Terry. Terry
was there.
Terry was there. It's a lot of Terry was on the set. How long was Terry Robisky with the Raiders? He was with the Raiders for
he was with them numerous times. He was Greg Olsen before Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen's gonna get a statue. By the way, he'd be the Raiders forever. If the Raiders put a statue out there, out front, it got to be Al, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're going to do that, it has to be Al.
If it was a player, who would be the first player? Who would be the player they would do? You think?
I would lean Tim Brown. That's just me. Like I didn't watch the Raiders in the '60s and '70s.
Yeah.
I watched the Raiders in the '80s and '90s, and if you ask me, it would be Tim Brown.
Yeah.
To me, he's Mr. Raider.
Yeah.
Maybe Howie Long you could have an argument there.
Yeah.
Charles Woodson, I'd probably lean the other two.
Yeah, I do. Still. I mean, those prime years with Green Bay. I know he wasn't. He just did. He did what he had to do. But God, there's the two Raiders that it's so painful to see him in other uniforms. Would be the Charles Woodson years and then the Marcus Allen years with Kansas City. That was brutal. That was brutal.
I thank God Tim Brown didn't go to the Broncos.
Oh yeah, no, that was I remember that. Yeah, he did. He signed the offer sheet. He's gonna go to the Broncos. That would have been brutal. All right, Raider Nation. One game left in the preseason. That's gonna be a game you can you can kind of watch that on fast speed. Anybody who plays in that game is probably not gonna be on the team of consequence, and then they get ready for
plays after the first quarter. We'll see the second string guys early. They'll be off the field quickly.
And then listen, they go in New England. If you're gonna go to play New England, this is the time to do it in September. It's going to be hot and humid, but the Raiders should be used to that.
Remember the John Brown years when he came over to the Raiders and he was playing wide receiver, and we're like, oh, this guy's going to make the team, and there he is, last preseason game, third and fourth quarter running routes, he got cut the next day. So, if you're a veteran, if you're Philip Dorsett and you're on the field in the third or fourth quarter in this game, you're in trouble.
I think the wide receiver room is. I think Philip is already trying to get another team. Or something like.
I think Colin Johnson has a chance to make the team now. If you need another big outside receiver.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, there's still some pretty good. I mean, the Chargers did sign Keenan Allen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Cooper still out there. There are some wide receivers, and there haven't been a lot of skill position big injuries so far this year. I mean, I know the Chargers had the left tackle go down, but like for the most part, people have been pretty healthy. So if you were that veteran waiting out in the wings to try to see if you can come and get for a guy who got hurt, the teams have been relatively healthy as far as that goes. All right, folks, take care. The background looks good, man. The background looks good.
It's like fuzzy. I don't know how to clear it up, but that's Eric Turner autograph signed up in the top corner.
There you go.
It's been in storage for a while. I had to dust it off. I got Max Crosby over my helmet signed over my shoulder. You can't see it right now, but I'll have to move some of that stuff around.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Matt Jones jersey. So
no.
Matt Jones.
Hey, shout out to the preseason battle of Aiden O'Connell against Mac Jones. I think we saw that last year.
Yes, we did.
The Jaguars played the Raiders. Thank God we don't have to watch that again this year.
Yeah, Mac Jones is he was brutal. All right, folks, take care. Peace.
Right,
go Raider.